Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Here's what they have done so far, and here's what they need to do. Let's start with what they've done. So, there's been some good moves made so far. So, I'll tell you this. They pulled us out of Afghanistan. They put us back into the Paris Climate Agreement. They cut the DOJ, Department of Justice, contracts with private prisons. They're slowing down the drone war, although it should be ended, but we'll get to that later. That's a start. They put a pause on the weapons deal that the United States had with Saudi Arabia to kill folks in Yemen, which, okay, we did that under the last few presidents. And it's nice that there's a pause on it, but it should, another thing that needs to end. They gave us the signed 1.9 trillion COVID relief bill and the American Rescue Plan. And what does that include? Here we go. Block grants business. I'm sorry. Increased food aid, expanded child tax credit. The American Rescue Plan Act increases the child tax credit maximum to $3,000 a year for each child between the ages of 6 and 17, and $3,600 for each child under the age of 6 for couples who make $150,000 a year or less, and single parents who make $112,000 or less. Payments will be sent by direct deposit on a monthly basis according to current language. A family with one child under 6 would receive $300 per month and $250 per month for children ages 6 to 17. The law provides for 1 year of credit payments. The idea behind regular payments is to help families pay for ongoing costs instead of claiming credit when they file their taxes. The credit is refundable, meaning everyone who qualifies will get it no matter their tax situation. Student loan forgiveness, tax-free. Schools and child care block grants, help for business, pandemic response. About $50 billion will pay for additional COVID-19 testing and contract tracing, and $7.6 billion will increase the size of public health workforce. About $16 billion will fund vaccine distribution and supply chains. The bill provides $48 billion to expand federal, state, and local testing for COVID-19 and enhance contract tracing capabilities with new investments to expand laboratory capacity and set up mobile testing units. It also contains about $14 billion to speed up the distribution and administration of COVID-19 vaccines across the country. So that was within that plan. So they signed that to law. So that was good. They gave us $1,400 stimulus checks. Should have been $2,000. Again, it's a start. We'll get to that later. Canceled almost $100 billion in student debt. Good move, considering that every other president canceled zero. Gave $15 an hour to federal workers and contract workers. Signed Juneteenth into law, making it a national holiday. The Bidens paid their respects to the victims of the mass shootings that took place in Uvalde, Texas, as well as Buffalo, New York. They aided Ukraine with $40 billion. Announced a plan to expand healthcare access. We have yet to see that plan, but start by saying that, okay, let's put the words into action. Appointed Ketanji Brown to the Supreme Court, making history by having the first black woman as a justice on the Supreme Court. And President Biden also signed a bipartisan gun safety bill into law. I'm actually shocked that a bipartisan bill actually went through this Senate. Wow, that's new. You hear everything, Lawrence. It happened. So those are all the good moves that they've made so far. Now, here's what they need to do. They need to people, we have to just understand, Democrats, leftists, liberals, I say this because we have to be firm and we have to find a way to exert the pressure on them to do this, because not only does it increase the approval ratings for them and the Democratic Party, but also these are just good things for the country in general. People need to understand this now. To all those of you that agree, I mean, I know you'll back me up on this. They need to cancel all student debt. They need to cancel it all. Biden just needs to whip out the executive order pen and just wipe that away. That would really help a lot. They need to give us $2,000 stimulus checks. Give us free community college. Community college, just, that's it. We're not saying free universities and stuff like that. Expand Medicare to include dental, hearing, and vision. Minimum wage, $12 an hour, the federal minimum wage. They need to pull us out of Iraq, Syria, and Somalia. They need to end the U.S.-Saudi weapons deal because they're committing a genocide in Yemen and they're doing so with our weapons. There's no need for that. It's just pointless bloodshed. We need to stop that. They need to implement the PRO Act, which is the Protecting the Right to Organize Act. They need to implement the Voting Rights Act of 2021, end the drone strikes, end the wars, close Guantanamo Bay, put us back in the Iran nuclear deal, and do something to fix inflation and gas prices. Now, there's actually 3 other things that I put on this list, and check this out. Here's 3 things that would really, really be helpful, especially to the black people in the black community. They need to invest $300 million a year into HBCUs, which is historically black colleges and universities. They need to free all of the nonviolent drug offenders and expunge it from their records, and just legalize marijuana nationally across the board. Now, let me say something about those 3 issues. I want people to put the pressure on Kamala to actually do those things. She has to be the forefront of that, because I personally think that that would kind of be a sign of redemption, especially considering the record in California, which I've actually gone through that record. There were some good things that came out of that, but I'll save that for a different video. So if they do those things right there, so like I said, cancel the student debt, $2,000 checks, free community college, expand Medicare, increase minimum wage, pull us out these countries, end the deals, the weapons deals, do the Union Act, close the Guantanamo. If they do those things, their approval rating is guaranteed to go up. Absolute guaranteed. He is guaranteed to do that. That goes without saying. That is a promise. That is a promise. Their approval ratings will go up from doing that. I would rather them do that through executive order, because I don't trust that those things will succeed in the House or the Senate. It might have a better chance of passing the House, but if we didn't have to worry about the Senate, we'd be just fine. But that's why we have to gain a couple seats in the Senate, so that more things will pass legislatively. So this is what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have done so far. And that, like I said, I just read to you a list of things that they need to do. So Democrats, we need to step on it. Let's get them to do those things.